Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Friday edition of NSD, baby. And you know what that means. If you're here and you're watching this, that means yesterday you got to enjoy opening kickoff of Fuck It, Chuck It football. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, NFL football is back, and that means many different things. A lot of money being made here in gambling, fantasy football, and of course, content. Wow, we got stuff we can actually talk about now, ladies and gentlemen. But before we can actually talk about anything, we got a couple of housekeeping things that we need to do. And that's what I need you to do, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, of course. Pretty please. Please, Miss Banks. I would always appreciate it. Please and thank you. I need you all to like and share and follow North Sports Dynasty on all social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and of course, subscribing on YouTubies. We have got an influx of subscribers in the last little bit, and this is a small show. So if I get like 5 subscribers, man, that's like big for me. So we got a few new subscribers, and we appreciate all the love and all the new people following here at NSD. And I know exactly why a lot of people are following and subscribing. Let's be completely honest here. Y'all are subscribing for your chance right here at the Mike Allstat, my mini helmet signed by Mike Allstat himself. The authentication is right at the back there. See that little shiny thing at the back? Boom! That means somebody was there to witness it, and you can witness yourself unpacking this in your mailbox at the end of the football season by just liking this show, sharing this show. Doing one or both of those is going to get you 1 or 2 entries into the final draw at the end of the year, where it may not actually just be that helmet. Oh, there's going to be more. I cannot wait. Oh, and by the way, if you share it, of course, you get another one. That's kind of self-explanatory. But, of course, if you subscribe on the UB2Bs, you will get 5. That's right, Kate Alverson. I saw you the other day posting all over the place saying, I'm subscribed. Sean Spencer putting it up on his Facebook story. We got other people throwing it up on their Facebook story. I saw that it was posted on somebody else's and their settings are set that I can't see it. And I'm like, well, thank you anyway. So all their names are all up on the scoreboard here, up on the side there. And of course, I got them updated on the social media post. So at the end of the year, we can actually have that draw. And of course, I have this as we had going in the first week, and it was guessed in the first week, and I have finally have a better clue as to what to do and give this guy away. So first of all, this is the mystery box. Mystery box. Hey, mystery box. Mystery box. I got a mystery. That sounds kind of weird if you really think about it, but we got the mystery box here. And in here is a NFL signed jersey. All you have to do is guess the right player. Yes, the right player. And the right team, obviously. Yeah, I guess. Because with this clue, yeah, the right team, right player. But if you guess the player, we all know what team it would be for. So this player right here is a Super Bowl winning player. I'm not going to say position for 4 different NFL teams. That is your first guess. If you are watching the show, you will be able to post your guess on the actual post tomorrow that I'm actually going to have. So you all can start guessing for your chance to win the freaking mini jersey. Well, yeah, you can win the mini helmet. And of course, the mini jersey. The mystery jersey. That's the word I was looking for. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Football is here. Football is here. I cannot wait until Sunday because what we saw on Thursday night with the Bills going into Los Angeles to play the Rams was quite awesome. We're going to be talking about that. I had to get a sip of my coffee. I've had a long day. Big things I did today. God, if only I could tell everybody. Fucking chucking football, injury roundup, Bills versus Rams. We're going to be talking about mostly today. We're going to be talking the fantasy football starts and pauses for week 1 as I go through all of the games in the second half of the show. We're going to give you the starts and the pauses for each single one of those games for fantasy and the pick'ems. Yes, as of course, everybody's been waiting to see what Andrew's pick'ems are for this year, considering we are... Do I dare actually say the word now? Sponsored. Yes, sponsored show. We are going to be having all the credentials up here in a couple of weeks once I finally get all the appropriate logos. They even said, like, listen, don't go to social media and just start taking those. We'll actually send them to you and we'll send you all the proper stuff and a couple of intros. And I was like, yeah, let's do this properly. So Betstamp.com, ladies and gentlemen, get at them, get the app if you want to see exactly what I'm betting, what I'm winning money on, and inevitably losing money on. You get that Betstamp app, you follow me, get the referral code, which I will have up on the show next week. Hopefully, we just have to do some backdoor adjustments because I didn't have the right code and I was giving somebody else all of my people. And now he's got all this beautiful, like, referral stuff where he gets like gift cards and TVs and shit. Anyhow, I'm going to make sure that you get the referral code that you're going to need to see all the bets that I be doing, making sure that you get all the money. But we're going to have my pick'ems. I already got 1-0 for what I call the my pick'ems. These are the picks that I am going to 100% bet on, go with, and basically dedicate to no matter what. I ain't gonna, if I pull out, it still goes against the record. I'm just letting everybody know because you're not supposed to technically pull out here on my show. That was a rule established many eons ago. So I got 1-0 because I took the Josh Allen as my major, as the one pick. I had 3 picks yesterday. The one locked in as my pick was the Josh Allen rushing for over 38.5 yards at -130. We hit that one. We were sad to see Zach Moss in that game more than anything. And he caught 6 passes, which were supposed to go to Singletary. 1 off from the Singletary one, so that sucks. And don't even get me started on the Rams. What kind of Super Bowl winning team has that bad of a hangover when you bring a guy back from a retirement thought And you bring in a guy named like Bobby Wagner, and you still got Allen Robinson. Like, we'll get to that in a few. I have got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more total my picks to start the season. So you all can follow with me. We're going to go through all the games. I'm going to tell you which ones are smart picks, which ones, if any, are in each game that I would actually go with and call my picks. If you like what you see here at Dynasty, ladies and gentlemen, remember to give a like and a share and a follow, because all the likes and the shares and the follows go to building this platform. And building this platform includes building more shows. So first thing I want to do is tell everybody in the upcoming weeks, if you are Canadian and you are a fan of a different sport, there's obviously the big four. We've got a bunch of shows to talk about football. We got a bunch of shows to talk about friggin' basketball. And we definitely got some shows out there talking about baseball. Inevitably, somebody was going to hire me on to talk about hockey. So I will be on 1252, and you will be able to check me and Matt. I forgot his name already. He's a Chicago Blackhawk guy. Man, I'm already bad at my new co-workers and stuff like that here. I apologize to my 1252 co-host there. I just got to know him. He's actually a great guy. And we are going to be putting on a hockey show for you all. And I don't want to give you any more details, but it is going to be exactly what you think. You thought being able to come on here and talk raw football with something, talk, back and forth and get a little bit heated. Hockey is literal definition of heated debates in sports. Okay. It is a Detroit Red Wing fan and a Chicago Blackhawk fan teaming up to make one hockey show where we talk all hockey, not just our teams. Obviously we update our teams. We talk shit about our teams. But we're going to be talking about everybody's teams. The Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames. We got some Tampa Bay Lightning fans out there. We got some, what was the other? The Minnesota Wild. There's a lot of different fans of those respected teams that are going to be wanting to tune in. So get ready for that. It is going to be busy here at NSD. With that also being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be part of the NSD team, because we are going to be growing here so big, we are going to not only have, like, how do I properly say this? We are going to be accepting resumes. We are going to be accepting talent. We are going to be accepting a lot of different things in the next upcoming months for the upcoming possible football or for the hockey season, but more so looking towards the off season with football. And then the next season of football going on into, obviously, the next foreseeable futures with hockey and basketball and everything like that. We have been asked to do a lot here at NSD behind the scenes. And because I got new opportunities coming, not only in the financial world, but obviously in the sports world with all these different games going on and my love of sports here in Canada with the possibility of the Seattle basketball team coming back, I'm obviously going to be grasping at that. So there's a lot of opportunities to talk many different sports here at NSD, ladies and gentlemen. So get at your boy if you want to be a part of that. Speaking of being a part of that, are we all not a part of the biggest fan base in the world? You got people out there who are fans of like books. You got people who are fans of literally, you got fans of obviously like religion and politics and all the boring stuff, but you got fan bases out there for like books and movies and cultures. But we as sports fans are the biggest fans out there. And if you want to talk about fan bases showing up for teams, the LA Rams and the Buffalo Bills had one hell of a game, and those Buffalo Bills fans came in like crazy at SoFi Stadium. When I was going to say Josh Allen, when Matt Stafford took the field and he's trying to orchestrate his offense, he sat there having to put his hands over his own helmet in a home game. Bills Mafia is real. The hype around the Buffalo Bills this year, ladies and gentlemen, is real. And we got to see it firsthand. First couple of drives. Gabe Davis with that beautiful touchdown off of the fake that really caught the LA Rams defense. Man, I could not believe some of the torching that was going on to Jalen Ramsey. Bobby Wagner literally just looked like another third-round pick was thrown in there and said, have fun. This was a beautiful start to the season. Not exactly what a lot of people were suspecting when it came to, say, the over and under. I didn't even want to touch that because I didn't know where this game was going to go, because it is week 1, of course. But I thought the LA Rams were going to do a lot better. The Allen Robinson show was supposed to literally light up fireworks in SoFi Stadium, no matter how hot it was. And he was a no-show. He got 1 catch, which was nice. And then all of a sudden he's a disappearing act. It was basically Cooper Kupp, force it. Cooper Kupp, force it. Cooper Kupp, force it. And then at the end of the game, when they just randomly are trying for this weird comeback, that's when they target him in the end zone. And it's not even a perfect throw by Matt Stafford. It's almost as if they're like, oh shit, that's right. This guy's actually pretty good. We should toss him the ball a couple of times here. But they didn't. And instead, the LA Rams look like essentially starstruck. Josh Allen has this weird like strut mentality, you know what I mean? Where he got beat last year in the playoffs in one of the best games we have ever seen. Like top 5 for me. Top 5 for me for sure. But like that game was amazing. And it's almost as if the golf tournament that he had to be a part of with Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, and the off season where he got Von Miller and an organization that's not necessarily used to big name free agents coming in like that saying, fuck yeah, I want to be part of this. This is actually something that he has to take over himself, because he's getting his contract coming up here soon, or it's kicked in. I can't remember. I should have checked that. But this kid knows the opportunity here for Buffalo. Nobody wants to fucking go to Buffalo. I don't want to go to Buffalo. But if all of a sudden it went across the border, even just the slightest, I'd be gone. And that's just because it comes to Canada. That's hell's yeah. But Josh Allen knows that not many people are going to go live in Buffalo to go see Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills reign supreme in the AFC. He knows that there's a short window for stuff like that, unless he builds it. Unless he can help build a stadium where they can inevitably have people come in and be warm and not have to freeze in these blizzards, which would really tick me off, because I'm one of those guys who I love football in blizzards. I have been a part of a blizzard game, and it was one of the funnest experiences I have ever had. The fact that we lost 35-3, and yes, that 3 points, even in CFL rules and stuff like that, was a field goal, and how that dude kicked the field goal in the weather that we were playing it, we could not see 3 feet in front of us. And I know everybody says that, like, I played in games where I couldn't see 3 feet. We literally could not see like 3 feet in front of us. And at points, there was times I could not see 2 feet in front of me. All right. I don't want Buffalo to have that dome. Minnesota's got the dome now, and they got these awesome games. I get it, but I like the snow. You know what I mean? So people don't want to play for Buffalo because it's way up there. They like the idea that Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay, and then if they're rich and you got money in the States or inevitably around the world, if you want, you can go live down and watch the game. Enjoy yourself. Tom Brady's there. Almost every single game is a win for you. Go gamble on it a little bit. You know, you got Stafford being traded to the Rams. It's essentially the same thing, but despite the last night's game. You know, you're living the high life. You're coming off the Super Bowl. It's Los Angeles. Sure, one of the roughest areas in the world is literally right behind your stadium. Who cares? This is fun, right? Yeah, people. It's the same thing in Miami. Miami's built a team where it says like, who's coming? Who wants to play in Miami? Who wants this team? Who wants to slang the ball for Tyreek Hill, and Mike Gesicki, and Jalen Waddle? Maybe not Mike. I shouldn't have said Mike Gesicki first before Jalen Waddle. I'm sorry. It's a little disrespectful. But you know what I mean? Nobody wants to go up to Buffalo to see it. The window is short. Von Miller is not going to be playing like he did last night forever. This guy is a god, I will admit, and he looked god-like all over again for the Buffalo Bills, but it's not going to last. This hype train needs to go, and it needs to continue on. And to be honest, they look good. They look literally like the promising Buffalo Bills that everybody has probably put a lot of money on. I put a little bit of money on the Buffalo Bills, put a little bit more money on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously, but it's just me. So what happened? I see in the comment section, Kate Alverson says, first, thank you for tuning in. Zagniff Production, yo, yo, yo. Thank you, Anthony Handy, and everybody down over there. Stafford looked like Detroit Stafford. I kept seeing that on Twitter and on social media. It looked like Detroit Stafford. Okay, but what Detroit Stafford? There's been some Detroit Staffords where I'm like, oh my God, him and Megatron. Oh my God. And even when he didn't have Megatron, the game with the shoulder, or well, I guess Megatron, I don't think was in for that play. Alex would know this better than I do. When he was holding the shoulder, he's like, go Blackhawks. Yeah, Nick, you're going to like that show, actually. You got a lot of people for you to meet on the 1252 Chicago sports platform there, Nick. So, yeah, Christopher Cole says, hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in, my friend. Sean should be able to share me with NSD. Yeah, hey, that would be nice. Last night, they were the Lambs, not Rams. I agree. I was the only lady to pick the Bills, and my hot player, Von Miller, was so good. I saw that. Damn right, girl. Good job. Season 5, Cobra Kai was epic. You already done that already, dude. Donald barely showed up last night. Agreed. But you know what? His presence was felt. His presence was definitely felt. And I think it was not to say the flash in the pan, but it's definitely like someone got blinded by something because they're like, oh, shit, that's right. We won the Super Bowl. Everybody's going to be coming for our heads. We, the Buccaneers, had that last year. We had a very good season. We came off the Super Bowl hangover. That wasn't actually that bad. Tom Brady had one of the best seasons he's ever had. And we went and lost to the Rams by one bad play call, which happens to teams all the time. Happens to the New York Jets. It happens to the Colts. It happens to everybody, especially in the last couple of years here. So I can't blame it for taking a chance, especially when taking a chance has won us and gotten us to that opportunity in the first place. Now that guy is leading our team, and he knows that he can't take that chance all the time, but he's probably going to risk it for the biscuit because we got Bruce Arians in-house. So I still like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But that Buffalo Bills team, here's the thing that scares me most about the Buffalo Bills. A lot of teams say like the Cleveland Browns, which are good, okay, despite the trade. If they made a trade for any other top tier quarterback out there, we'd all be like, oh, I'm kind of scared of the Cleveland Browns this year. Not going to lie. Okay. All right. I think we all, okay. And now, like I was saying in the group chat there with all of our friends here at LTF, which let me give some shout outs here quick to all the people out here. Let's Talk Football in the house. Ran by Sean Spencer, Janae Struther with, oh God, too many other people to name tonight. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my breath if I even try to name everybody in there. I'm going to have to do a quick video where it's got everybody there for them. But shout out to the LTF family for everything that they do and all the love that they have at this platform. And shout out to 1252 Sports Chicago. Anything you want to talk about with regards to Chicago teams, the Blackhawks, the White Sox. Don't talk about the White Sox right now. They're not very happy about that. Or the Cubs. But you can talk about the Cubs, the White Sox, the Blackhawks, the Bears. And what's the Bulls? Yeah, that's the basketball team. I almost forgot the Bulls there. So shout out to all of them. Everybody that helps make NSD become a big and badass thing. And speaking of bigger and badasser, a lot of teams, what my point is what they're getting to is they've traded a lot of picks or a lot of players or a lot of, say, prospects. I use prospects kind of like I'm talking about, say, basketball or hockey, but a lot of young talent. And what has happened is they now have basically got to win with the teams that they got now. This situation, though, for the Buffalo Bills, I almost lost my train of thought there. For the Buffalo Bills, they have an opportunity now to go in either this offseason if they do win, or even at the trade deadline. The LA Rams went and grabbed Von Miller for like 2 seconds. Do you not think that they are looking, the Buffalo Bills, that they are not looking at the wide receiver market or even possibly a bigger, badder running back market? But I'm saying more the wide receiver market here. And they're not looking out there being like, who's on the cusp of being eliminated from their respective team. Who can we get as another option for really, really cheap? Because obviously they like Isaiah McKenzie and they're going to like Jamison Crowder. They're going to let all those guys develop into the system. But there's another guy out there in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, that I can feel it. They beat the Rams. They're on this hot streak. They don't want to keep losing. They're going to look for the first team that's having any type of struggle with any type of wide receiver contract or anything like that. Like OBJ even possibly being out there in free agency. I don't think they go the AB route either. That I don't even want to start talking about that. But Laviska Shenault was a fifth possible option in Jacksonville and then was just recently traded and bumped up a couple of spots all the way up to be the third option in Carolina, where there was literally a hole missing. Do we not honestly think that the Buffalo Bills are sniffing at any possibility of any rejected talent on any team? If Julio Jones wasn't already picked up, they would have been, they were already in on the sweepstakes. There's got to be another wide receiver out there that they're definitely sniffing out. Kate says OBJ to the Bills. That's the one that I'm thinking of, especially if Von Miller can convince him to, because they don't have to give up any draft capital. They can just go and sign him. It also would be weird, and I know the guy just got a job in the box office, but I mean, another guy came out of the office, I guess you would say, to go and play football again. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Larry Fitz just says, if you guys toss me $1 million just to come in for a year and I don't have to do any of this, the bullshit mechanics, I just come in and I can be me. The name itself would be enough to get butts in the seats. And the name itself would be enough to put another cornerback out over on Larry Fitz. Also, quick shout out, because I know that they kept talking about it throughout the whole game. That Benson kid, the Buffalo Bills, Florida guy, Kyer Elam, their first round pick. Every single person in the offseason loved him because of the video that went viral of him handing that binder to the coaches, being like, this is what I can give you. And that right there may have been the reason why they went and spent a first round pick on the guy. His intelligence is through the roof. But is the drive there? And that was the problem all through training camp. And they really alluded to that in the commentating last night. And that Benson guy showed out. But they also, was it Collinsworth and the guys there? They really alluded to another thing where the Buffalo Bills have a lot of depth. The Buffalo Bills can get their starters out when they are tired if an offense decides to keep going and running the ball, and bring in fresh legs, fresh bodies, and fresh bangers to get in there and just start getting at that ball. The Buffalo Bills are all around. And honestly, I do think that if they went and grabbed a third option, maybe even a fourth option, who cares? Go sign OBJ and go trade for another guy. But if they just get one more piece to that offense, I really, really, really do think that the Buffalo Bills could be unstoppable. And I was doing my bets, and I'm searching up the whole Josh Allen thing, and I'm checking out all these different stats. And it just seems for all my gamblers out there and my fantasy footballers out there, which, by the way, if you like what you're seeing, drop a like, drop a share, drop a follow, especially drop a like. We on Facebook here are a big community and stuff like that, big old family. Drop a share and drop a like, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see, and tell your friends where they can get at NSD. We're going to be having swag coming down here in the next couple of months for you to either A, win or B, buy. So stay tuned for that, including stuff like this, the little stickers. Yeah. Courtesy of our friend Ash Swinton from the Women's Takeover on Let's Talk Football. Her husband there also does Squid Rip cards. Oh, I said it right this time. And so if you're looking to get yourself into some card rips for football, he might start doing hockey. Who knows? I might even start helping him too. We'll see what the hell happens here. I have big things for NSD, ladies and gentlemen, especially next year, especially because Detroit 2024. I'm going to get an RV. I'm not going to get a big RV. I'm going to buy an RV so that me and the pretty lady can take it with either us or us and the kids, depending on how much it would cost them just to be in the States. I don't know about that. But nonetheless, it'll be me and the pretty lady, and I'll get that RV all ready, and we'll strip it all down, and we'll get it all prettied up inside, and I'll put some big old Buccaneer stickers all over it and some Red Wing stickers all in the inside. And any Golden Knight shit she tries to throw in there, we'll throw on the side of the road because the fucking Golden Knights suck. She's close by, too. I'm going to get something tossed at me here. Anyway, so we're going to do that. We're going to do Detroit 2024. We're going to go down for the draft. Some of the hockey games and the baseball games, possibly the basketball games. I don't actually know how many different things are going on, but any of those home games going on, I know everybody will probably be out looking for them, but I'll be all over that. So you'll be tuning in. Plus, ladies and gentlemen, we may be at location somewhere this Sunday. And if it's not this Sunday, it is going to happen one of these Sundays. We have got an offer to be at a live location at a bar talking sports with real people. So I'll be able to like sit there with this mic and be like, hey, you, come talk sports. I actually hurt my ear. I didn't mean to do it that hard. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, come talk sports. What's your favorite team? Why do you like the Oilers? Why the Flames suck? Why do the Oilers suck? Why do all Alberta teams suck? Thank you. That's kind of what it'll all be about. So, quick little commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Then we'll get into some of the injuries here, and we'll get into some of these gambling lines. So y'all get ready for this Sunday, which, by the way, listen, I'm going to give you some fantasy advice here, obviously, tonight. And if anything changes in, people's statuses, health, someone gets traded, someone missed a plane or anything like that from now or until Sunday, listen, they got you on the Let's Talk Football channel with some of the fantasy football advice that you're going to be getting from Sid and Ash and David Wright. And I'll possibly pop in here and there. And everybody will be given fantasy football advice and the last minute updates for injuries going on. So quick commercial here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Let's get you all some money. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at NSD with your host, Andrew Faubert. I can make fun of my own last name. It's French. It's le français, le Faubert. You let the R and the T and everything else just kind of like roll off the tongue. Maybe that's the reason my fiance is the only reason maybe she wanted a French last name instead of Welsh last name. Even though she's about to have all this power in the world, isn't that how this goes? Don't the Welsh now own the Royal Palace or something like that? Anywho, welcome back to Dynasty, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Andrew Faubert. We are here to talk a little bit about winning you all some money. And when I mean talking about winning you money, I mean making sure that you are betting alongside with me. And if you want to bet alongside with me and you want to see all the bets that I have laid down, all the money that I have inevitably won and lost, you can follow me on Betstamp. You can check out my profile. I will have a referral code for all of you if you are really down to follow. And you can also check out all the people at Barstool. You can literally like your own peeps, like all these different bettors and stuff like that you're starting to follow and you want to see their actual bets, not necessarily the ones that you got to wait for to see on a Twitter pick or whatever. You can actually see the live bets of some of the famous people out there, whether they're actual sports bookers Barstool guys, some of the Pat McAfee guys, fantasy football guys, Colin Cowherd, like any of those guys and gals that you want to see their actual bets, get on the Betstamp app, follow it. And you can also, of course, if you want to get the best lines, that's where you go to. So if you want to get, you don't like the 135 on a current game that's happening this Sunday, and you're like, well, maybe I would feel more comfortable laying it down at minus 115 or minus 120. And you're thinking, I just want to see if possibly it exists out there. You're going to have to go and possibly see betstamp.com or the Betstamp app and go through all the different betting apps that are out there. And you can see for yourself, if you're like, I really want to do this, and just go open one of those apps, open up a new account, which takes like 5 minutes with some of these guys, lay down your bets. Or if you just have 2 or 3 that you've been using your entire life and you want to see who's got the best odds that day, use Betstamp, check out who's betting on what, and then get down and use that. Betstamp.com or the Betstamp app. I will get you your referral code coming out here. Sure. So let's is here. We just had the Bills and the Rams game. The line was all over the place, but it was basically minus 2.5 for the Buffalo Bills, who definitely covered that. I want to start off with some fantasy pauses and starts for the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. So a lot of people out there right off the bat, for any fantasy football advice, check out NSD. Like, share, and follow for anything coming up when with regards to injuries and stuff. You can get the first-hand account of what's happening in the NFL and fantasy football if you like and share NSD. All right, Philadelphia Eagles. The pause I want to get right off the bat, because a lot of people are going to come at me for it, is inevitably Kenneth Gainwell. Don't start Kenneth Gainwell, not in the flex, not in a starting position or anything like that. We don't know. This is week 1. The only thing that you want to try and do on week 1 when it comes to fantasy football is put in starters. Gainwell hasn't earned that yet. We have only heard rumblings. You don't want to try and get ahead of the game just yet, unless you're one of those guys who likes to take the risks every single week. Then all the power to you. Still Miles Sanders' team. He's back from injury. He's the number 1 guy on the depth chart. I would pause on the Kenneth Gainwell. The one guy I would start, however, on the Philadelphia Eagles is Jalen Hurts. Yeah, that's a quarterback. And I'm not always for the quarterbacks. And I've actually not taken him in most, if not any of the drafts that I've done this year. I haven't even sniffed him. He's been gone most of the time. Even when I thought about taking him, he's been long gone. But Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback, and they've just built a brand new, beautiful looking offense around him and a defense that is going to allow him to take his time out there. And that is going to be good for fantasy. He's got the 2 wide receivers on the outside and a couple of burners on the inside. I like the Philadelphia Eagles right off the bat, especially against the Detroit Lions defense. Sorry, Alex. That would be the one guy in fantasy that I would start. Now, in the Detroit Lions, the one guy I would say start right off the bat is obviously your boy, TJ Hawkinson. A lot of people are like, Andrew, what about this guy and this guy? They got so much talent around that team now. Well, Jameson Williams isn't playing. Amon-Ra is still the number 1. They got DJ Chark. We all understand that. But I have not literally heard anything from DJ Chark. The only thing I've even sniffed of is he's having a good camp. That just sounds to me he's there to make a couple $1 million, get the hell out of Dodge, and try and make a big payday somewhere else. And it's not going to happen. TJ Hawkinson has been a dropping tight end. And I think if you're a person that just needs to quietly stream a tight end, I would go with TJ Hawkinson with this one. The one guy I'm actually pausing on this would actually be DeAndre Swift. Anybody here watching Hard Knocks knows that if you talk about fantasy football, everybody's all like, DeAndre Swift is my guy. Yep, DeAndre Swift is my guy too. But there just seems to be something about them carrying 4 to 5 of these types of running backs into the 53-man roster that doesn't speak well for DeAndre Swift. He's a guy that I would pause on if you have the running back depth. Other than that, put him in there, see what you got. It's week 1, but I am cautious on him. The bets on this game, though, let me just find them here. There you go. The line on this is 5.5 for the Eagles. The Detroit Lions were notoriously good last year for covering the spread. So I would probably look towards something like that if you were looking to gamble on this game. Is lean towards Detroit a little bit more at minus 110 to cover the spread. The money line is intriguing because it's only at plus 180. So Vegas is kind of hoping that they don't win, because I'm sure a lot of Lion fans are rooting on that one. And I wouldn't even sniff that over and under personally. I understand that everybody thinks that, it's going to be a lot closer to it and it's probably going to hit the under. This could be a shootout too, man. Jared Goff has been to the Super Bowl. So I'm not touching this game at all for the over and under. The only thing I would touch is the Detroit Lions spread, but that ain't going to be my pick for this weekend. The Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets is the next one we're going to be talking about here. If you're talking about the starters, the one starter I would talk about with the Baltimore Ravens for the fantasy football outlook, Rashad Bateman, the number one wide receiver everybody keeps forgetting about. Like, you got him at a nice discount rate in the fantasy football leagues that you just did, so you might as well go use the guy. Okay? Rashad Bateman is the number one wide receiver. Stop letting everybody tell you it's going to be Mark Andrews. He's not a wide receiver. He's a tight end. And tight ends are tight ends for a reason. Yeah, he puts up insane numbers, and he's the reason I didn't win last year. But Rashad Bateman is going to start seeing targets, especially because Lamar wants to get paid. Now, the pause I'm going to do, obviously, on this one is any running back for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't want to start any of them. Davis and this, that. Do you remember last year where there was Hill and there was another guy in there and no one knew who to start and what game and when and how? I don't know who to start this one. And that's where I don't like playing that game. So don't start any of the Baltimore Ravens, or at least pause. On the New York Jets side, the wide receiver, and I had it written down there for the Jets that they drafted, not Olave, but the other guy there, Garrett Wilson. Pause on Garrett Wilson. It's game one. Flacco's coming in. It's not the development that you think that's going to happen. If anything, Elijah Moore is going to take off in this game, which is essentially the guy that I would say start. A lot of people are saying, well, that's kind of a never. No, I mean, like, I would put him in the wide receiver one. If you're looking for who's going to have a top 3 game this week, it's probably going to be Elijah Moore. And that's because him and Flacco really developed him into that wide receiver. So that's who I would take there. The line is +7 for the New York Jets. I ain't going to really touch this game because it's all over the place. But to anybody out there who would want to gamble on this and just see, just have like a little bit of fun, I think the only thing that I would probably touch is probably the Baltimore Ravens at -7, but I don't like that at all. The Cleveland Browns at the Carolina Panthers. Oh, the big old bad game that everybody's been waiting for, where Baker Mayfield inevitably gets to play his old team and nobody really cares. I mean, people do care, but this is the game where he said, I'm going to fucking kill them. I'm going to fuck them up, or however the heck he said it. Well, this is the thing. They have this at a direct tie on the app that I'm looking at. They don't even know who is going to win. They got it -110 for both of them. It's basically a coin toss is what they're saying. This is one of the worst games that they've probably ever had to try and put a line on. I don't want to touch it for anything gambling. And for fantasy football, if you're talking about the Cleveland Browns, I would pause on the David Njoku hype right off the bat. I think they are going to try and use Amari Cooper as much as they possibly can. But I would start, as much as people are getting, I would start the Kareem Hunt, and I would put him in the flex because he has been a great flex position player to use. So I would just continue on with that. With regards to the Carolina Panthers, the starter, I would start Laviska Shenault. I would. And the reason is because a lot of people are like, what the heck? If you have no other wide receivers and you're just looking for something that's going to get you points, you got to remember most of the players that you probably have on your team where you're trying to get points are like 4th or 3rd or 2nd A or B options on their teams anyway. If Baker Mayfield is looking to kill the Cleveland Browns, he's going to be looking for talented guys, and Laviska is one of those talented guys. So I would get him on there. And I'm not even going to say pause on CMC because everyone's just going to throw him in anyway. So I'm not even going to go that route. But I would just pause on any tight end from Carolina until they actually know who to use. The Colts and the Texans there. The line right now is open up at -7 for the Colts. It's intriguing to me to possibly do the Texans, but they got no talent. So if you really, really, really want to throw money on this, I would start looking at the player props, if anything. The stardoms on this one, I would start for the Indianapolis Colts. I would actually start Nyheim Hines. If you're in a PPR league and you're looking for that extra pass catching, kind of like what Zach Moss got last night, and you're just looking for a quick 10 points and something that can break out to possibly more, I would throw in Nyheim Hines to see what he can do, and I would pause on the Alex Pierce hype until we see what Matt Ryan is going to do in that offense. And same with the Houston Texans. I would pause on the whole Brandon Cooks thing, even though I know he's like the number one. But I would start, I would I would pause on the Brandon Cooks thing, yes, because he is the number one and everybody's going to be covering him. There's basically nobody else. But I would start Damon Pierce. That's the running back. That's the guy I'm looking forward to seeing most, and just seeing how he produces in that offense going forward against real competition. They pulled him out for a reason. The guy's shown he's like, I'm the mother effer of this offense. Now, thank you very much. Going forward, this is my team. So give me that. Give me that. Give me that. What the hell is that? Someone in the comments section saying some weird stuff. Anyways, we go back to the picks I got here for the next one is Jacksonville and the Commanders. Sean, if you're out there, listen. Please don't listen right now because I actually think that the Jags would be a good team to bet on just because of how close they are to that money line. The spread is 2.5. Money line is 115. I would probably take both of those because I think Jacksonville is going to be a lot better. Now, when it comes to fantasy football, pause on not Zay Jones, the other guy there. Why can't I think of his name? Guy that came out of Arizona and got the big payday there. Oh, God. Can't think of his name. Not Clark. Why can't I ever think of his name? And I'm just going to have to go here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Rondell Moore. Hold on. It's going to bug me now. It's actually going to bug me now. So that's why I'm going to there we go. If I go to Jacksonville, Christian Kirk, duh. So Christian Kirk would be the one that I would pause on. Same with Zay Jones. None of those guys, I don't want to necessarily put them as my starters until we see what is going to happen. Though, I would start Travis Etienne. A lot of people are calling on that James Robinson train. Listen, it's James Robinson's team. Put him back in, blah, blah, blah. No, put Travis Etienne in and be happy about it. Okay? So the more I'm leaning on this one is than anything is the gambling portion. Speaking of gambling portion, we got a my pick, ladies and gentlemen. One of the ones that I'm locking in this week comes up into this next game here of the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. They got this so close to the line that I was almost willing to take New England at the money line as my pick, but I'm going to take them at the spread at +3.5, -110. Are we really telling me that I don't care who the quarterback is? You got 7 different running backs on that team. You mean to tell me that Bill Belichick and the New England fucking Patriots are going to lose to the newest quarterback in town that looks like that he's doing peyote every single day? And if they do win, it's going to be like their Super Bowl, and it's not going to be by much. I literally like this game so much that I've made it a my pick, and I added it in at the end of when I was looking over everything. So give me the Pats at 3.5 at -117 is what I got them at on the app that I put down, but you can get them at -110 that I've seen all over. So just check out the other lines that are out there. The fantasy football outlook on this one, don't touch the running backs in New England. That's not going to be a good idea. The Miami Dolphins, on the other hand, the Jalen Waddle situation is not something I want to play with. So maybe settle down on that one and pause on it and don't start any of the running backs for Miami. I would just play the Tyreek Hill game and see what happens with everything else. New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. The line is -5.5 for the New Orleans Saints, basically saying that they're going to destroy the Atlanta Falcons by looking at that money line. I think it'll be a little bit closer, but it is not one that I want to touch tonight at all. Sean Spencer's in the house saying, Foobs, what's up? That is the guy right there, ladies and gentlemen, that I was saying. Let's Talk Football's very own half co-host, half owner. Janae owns the other half. Listen, got to shout out my girl out there too, Janae and Sean. Both those guys doing big things. They got their new show, or well, not their new show, but the actual show coming back out here soon, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned for that. Okay, we going back to the Saints there. The Chris Olave one, pause on. I would start, though, Jarvis Landry. If you need a wide receiver to stream this week, use the Jarvis Landry one. I have very sneaking suspicion that he's going to be the guy that comes out of nowhere and puts on a show for the New Orleans Saints this week. Philadelphia and Detroit, we went through. Pittsburgh and Cincy. Line is 6.5 for the Bengals. Listen, this is a divisional game, and everybody knows what we talk about here at North Sports Dynasty. Do not touch divisional games, especially week 1 divisional games. They never go the way that you want because the divisional teams always play each other as if it's the last damn game of the season. So what you want to do here is you want to go the other route and take a little bit of a higher road and maybe just touch on that over and under. Maybe just touch on it. The 44.5 there at -110 that you can get. I'm sure you can get that better line a couple of other places. But that's really the only one thing. You can go check out the player props that Sydney Swinton is inevitably going to give you tomorrow or the next day. They're on Let's Talk Football about his Steelers. And listen, the only thing that I want to say right now about the fantasy football outlook of this one is the pause on the Cincinnati Bengals needs to be anybody but Jamar Chase. We like T. Higgins and we like Boyd, but listen, they might switch roles this season. We do not know, okay? And I like the tight end situation, and I like Joe Mixon. Everything that they had last year is smooth. But I don't want to start streaming those wide receivers in week 1, especially if you're needing that dub. But I am going to be starting, however, Joe Burrow. If you're needing the quarterback this week and you have him, obviously start him. I got big points thinking that he's going to put up this week. The Pittsburgh Steelers, start George Pickens. Start him every single week. I like the matchups. I like the fact that he's going to be, in my opinion, the number 1 going out after this season. So put him in and pause on the Deontay Johnson hype for now. Ladies and gentlemen, gonna take a quick little water break, and then we'll be right back for some more Let's Talk Football. So while I got Sean here, let's give a Let's Talk Football commercial shout out while we are all here. Be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to NSD. I am your host, Andrew Faubert. We are talking the last 7 games on the docket this weekend. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see and what you're hearing, and you want everybody else to like and see what you're hearing, then you can go and give this a like and a share and a follow. And when I actually get this all clipped up and stuff like that better, you'll actually be able to get some drops and shit like that coming down here. When I see these likes coming in, I'll start going like, start dropping in some stuff like, where the heck is it like this?
What?
But I'll actually have it like in an actual audio form, and I can just press buttons and stuff like that. We're going to make this thing so effing professional that professionalism will be called Fubinism by the time I'm done with it, ladies and gentlemen. So let's talk about this here. Let's talk about the next game on the docket, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Chicago Bears. This is going to be another one of my locks, ladies and gentlemen. If you're like, wait, what? The 49ers and Bears game? What do you got for a lock on there? Well, first of all, the opening line right now is San Francisco -7. I don't actually mind if you wanted to put some money on it, the Chicago Bears to cover this, because it is week 1. But, I mean, the Trey Lance train and hype and everything like that might be a little bit too real. 40.5 is the over right now. I would hit that hard, but it is not my lock. My lock for this one, part of my 5 locks of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We are 1-0, by the way. 1-0. The first one that we dropped, which is technically the second one, the first one that we got right was the Josh Allen rushing yards over 38.5. We are also going with the Pats 3.5, covering the spread at plus 3.5. I am also taking David Montgomery to have 2.5 reception. I was like, registrations. What? Receptions at plus 107. That is what I am going to be throwing at you as my third lock tonight. Now, obviously, on the fantasy overlook of all of this, I would pause on the Trey Lance train for a little bit. Let's see what the guy got first before we all start thinking that he's going to be the next coming of Patrick Mahomes here. I would, however, start, because George Kittle is gone, I would start Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Both of them are probably going to see enough work that they're going to have fantasy relevance to you this week. On the Bears, I would also pause on the Justin Fields train if he is your quarterback that you need to be using. But I would start the crap out of Darnell Mooney. And you know what? If he stays at that 4.5 reception mark all the way up until Sunday, I might actually have to bite on that. The Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings, ladies and gentlemen, is the next one that kind of starts off our afternoon games. There we go. Sorry, I had a big burp there. Green Bay -1.5. That would be the one I take. Everyone likes Minnesota, but until it's proven with the new coach and stuff like that, I'm not even going to touch it. Fantasy relevance here, don't touch the wide receivers for the Packers, man. Just don't. I would start Robert Tonyan, though, because he seems to be the only person that's actually going to get enough work. With the Vikings, I would pause, obviously, on the Dalvin Cook train, but everybody's going to use him anyway, just because he's an injury-prone guy. I would start, however, that KJ Osborne guy. He's going to be my breakout guy this year, ladies and gentlemen, so you watch out. That guy's going to be awesome. Kansas City versus Arizona, -6.5 for Kansas City is just a little bit too high for me. Arizona is a high-flying air raid offense, and the over-under is set at 54 right now. They think it is going to be a shootout. I wouldn't touch anything like in that game whatsoever. With regards to the Chiefs and the fantasy outlook, I would pause on the CEH train until we see who they decide to use and how much they decide to use them. I would start, however, Sky Moore. What? Random rookie? Not Juju? No, man. I would start Sky Moore. Again, that flex spot, if you're looking for points, he is a very big question mark, but he's a question mark that I am willing to actually take a bit of a risk on just based off of the camp videos I've seen, the hype that is around him right now, and the fact that Juju is kind of being like that, look over here, not over here. The Kansas City Chiefs are used to that, and I'm not biting this time. So give me Sky Moore as a possible breakout here. With the Cardinals, pause on the Zach Ertz train. I know a lot of people are thinking that because of the way that the Kansas City defense runs things, that they can get that tight end running really good. I do not believe so, because Zach Ertz is not a superstar. And Trey McBride is going to be taking reps away from him. I would, however, start James Conner over and over and over again. The Las Vegas Raiders are going up against the Los Angeles Chargers, which I'm surprised is not the game of the night, like the Sunday night game, but The Bucks will take it. It's whatever. But this is another one of those locks that I got. One of my second last locks of the weekend. The Raiders are plus 3.5. Give me that all day. This is another one of those division games. This could even be the Raiders losing by like 54-14. But is a risk I am willing to take with the new quarterback. I'm literally watching the line right now in front of me on the app move from 115 to 110. It just moved in front of me, ladies and gentlemen. So you need to hop on that before it starts changing to 2.5 or however way they decide to go. The money line's 150 on it too. So pause on the Josh Jacobs thing if you're a Raider fan, because fantasy football, he's not loved like everybody thinks he should. And then of course the one guy on the Raiders I would use though is Bunter Renfro, because he's my guy and I think he's awesome. So you should obviously use him a lot more. And then the guy on the Chargers, I would pause on the Eckler train, because I think that the offense is going to go pass heavy. And in that case, I would actually start Jesse Palmer in the flex position, because, Justin Herbert actually came out and said his name personally. And he's also Canadian. So shout out to him. I think he's going to be the one guy that breaks out this week. But give me that Chargers at plus 3.5, covering the spread. I got him at 117, and it's gone all the way down to minus 110. So hop on that while you can. The Giants, Tennessee is the last of the afternoon games. Tennessee's lines come down to like only 5.5, which was up at like 6.5, I believe, only a couple of days ago. So Vegas is not necessarily sold on them, especially with Brian Daboll being the new head coach of the New York Giants. I am not touching this game at all. Not even that over and under. Could be a 3-0 game, for crying out loud. Brian Daboll's Canadian. A lot of Canadians coming in the NFL, eh? By the way, just saying. So I don't want to touch it. 205 for the money line for the Giants seems pretty nice, just because it's week 1 and that could be the big upset of the weekend. But I'm not going to touch that one at all. And then, of course, leaving best for last on Sunday night is Tampa Bay going to Dallas. The line for Tampa Bay right now is 2.5, and that is my final lock of the weekend. Is give me my Bucks. And believe me, I have always said, and even my fiance's probably heard me just say this, and been like, you don't take your favorite teams. You don't bet on your favorite teams, honey. That's a rule. And you've told me that. Andrew, you've even told that to the fans here, and you've said you don't bet on your fucking teams. So why are you betting on your team? There's a lot of injuries to Dallas. Andrew, you're offensive. There's a lot more injuries to Dallas. Dallas is not doing good. Dallas is beat up. Dallas is... listen, I had Dallas beating Tampa Bay the first game of the season. Now I'm not so sure. Now I think Dallas has got a lot better shot than a lot of people are putting out there. So... the money line on Tampa is minus 140. If you can find it a little bit lower, I would take it. But right now, that's just too much money you would have to drop to get any return on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'm taking them as my final lock at minus 2.5. And the final game we have of the week is Denver going into Seattle, where Russell Wilson is literally going to destroy the Seahawks, in my opinion. They only got it at minus 7. To get like minus 14 if you could try and find that for the Denver Broncos. I think they're just going to annihilate the Seattle Seahawks. Pause on the Javonte Williams train, just because it actually came out today that they will play the hot hand at the running back position. And I would start, however, though, Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, just at if you have one of those guys, start them. Just get them out there and let's see if you got a Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf situation, and hope that one doesn't start doing the 0-point game, which is inevitably the reason why everybody hates Tyler Lockett. So I also would start on the Seattle Seahawks, though, Tyler Lockett. I'm just saying. I hope they got nobody else there. And I would pause on the Rashad Penny train just off the bat, because Denver's defense is really, really good. Also, the fantasy outlook on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, start Leonard Fournette. I know a lot of people are like, Rachaad White. Start Leonard Fournette. Okay? Keep Rachaad White on your bench. Start Leonard Fournette. Pause train on the Julio Jones. As much as I've said that I'm the one that I would love to see him in the flex position, just hold on him. Hold on Godwin. Hold out on Gage. The only wide receiver I would be starting this weekend for the Buccaneers is Mike Evans. But I would start Leonard, and I would hold off on anything else. With the Cowboys, start Tolbert as your flex and pause on everything else because you don't know what the heck is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been all of the games, all of the lines I've given you. The 5 lines again, though, the 5 picks of the week, my 5 picks, the one I'm telling you, put the money on and make sure that you win your money alongside with me because we already are 1-0 with the Josh Allen rushing over 38.5 yards. Let's get going with the Pats at plus 3.5 at minus 117. The Bucks to win 2.5, the spread there. The Raiders plus 3.5, and David Montgomery to have 2 receptions. Those are my locked in picks for the weekend. Brought to you by Betstamp, ladies and gentlemen. Get the app. Find out who all your favorite bettors are betting, why they're betting, who they're betting, where they're betting from. Don't have to follow their Twitter anymore to see what kind of bets they are claiming to make. See what actual bets they're making. See what Drake is doing, for crying out loud. See what all these big stars are betting on at all these big places and how much they're betting on. And bet alongside them if you want. See how much money you win with them. Bet exactly what Drake does. Who cares? It's your money. But bet safe, bet responsibly, bet at Betstamp, and bet with me. Referral codes coming. Lots of things coming this way. Ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye out for NSD around the Edmonton and Fort Saskatchewan locations on football Sundays. We are going to be having some of our analysts down on location, including myself, to have some live shows going on. It may be happening this weekend. It all depends what we can get riled up here in the next 24 hours. But if it doesn't happen this weekend, it will be happening going on pretty damn soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, remember we got the Mike Allstat mini helmet giveaway going on, ladies and germs. And if you want to win this, all you got to do is like and share and follow the show that you currently see right here. Like North Sports Dynasty page, and that'll get you another entry into the draw. Following it gets you another one too. Liking this and sharing. Look at that. That's 4 entries right there. And then if you haven't done it already, go to the North Sports Dynasty YouTube page. Subscribe there. That'll get you 5 entries into that thing. That'll put you into the top 5 people already, just like that. That's all you got to do. 5 entries, 9 entries, however many entries you want to do. Just like that. Also, just because I love y'all so much, if you want to get yourself a chance to win this right here, we're going to have this posted tomorrow with the new clue and stuff like that. And that'll be your chances to actually start winning this. The mystery box. And in here is a NFL player, a Super Bowl NFL player who has played for 4 NFL teams. That is your hint. That is what we started at. And you will have a chance to win that jersey and many different more memorabilia, whatever, coming up here in the next few months at NSD. Also, a big shout out to Let's Talk Football, Sean Spencer, Sid Swinton, and all the people there. Sid Swinton is going to be joining us in a backup role right now. We're not going to steal him from Let's Talk Football just yet, but Sid Swinton has decided to be my backup because I have got a brand new opportunity coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So if for some odd reason I am taken away from all of you, so I can't do this show or even the Maple Bucks show, we will have people to replace me or come in and step in for me for that night so that you do not miss any of this stuff that you have been looking forward to on the Friday and on the Sunday nights. And of course, NSD is growing so much that we are asking that if anybody would like to be part of the ever-growing experience here at NSD, we're looking for show hosts, we're looking for writers, we're looking for anything that you want to be. But just tell me what you want to be, and we'll get you set up here at NSD with some shows and whatever the heck you want. Just looking to see what we can do. We want to expand. We want to grow this thing as much and help other people be exposed to the social media realm and the sports world and get people out there. Look at some of the other people that you've seen on social media get picked up. Pat McAfee got picked up, and look at all the crap that he's doing, right? Look how small he started. Yeah, he was a punter in the NFL. I'm just a crazy little ginger in my basement and just want to help out as much as I can. So, and if you want to help out this show, remember just to get on there and like and share and follow. And one like, obviously, for Detroit 2024, because that's where we're going to be live on location for the draft in 2024. 2 years away. It's not going to be for all the quarterbacks here, but I'm also not going to Kansas City to watch the draft there because they would really despise a few Buccaneer fans showing up there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I'm also shut the hell up here so my kids don't wake the heck up. But I appreciate every single last one of you in the comment section tonight and out there in the wonderful world of social media, whether you're following on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or wherever the hell this is being currently broadcasted on. We appreciate you here at NSD. We'll talk to you on Sunday night, right after the Buccaneers game. Yes, so one benefit about being on the Mountain Time, as soon as that Buccaneers game is done, I am going to be live talking about it. Might be a little inebriated, but who knows and who cares? It is the start of the NFL season, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go to 5 o'clock in the fucking morning if we have to talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what they did against the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you all again. We'll see you next weekend. Let me get out of here before my pretty lady literally just pulls the plug on this. No, I'm just kidding. She would never do that. She's literally right behind me like, what are you talking about? All right, everybody. Much love. See you next week. Goodbye.